Warning, the following discussion for Infamous Second Son contains spoilers for the entire game. You have been warned.
You have any idea how embarrassing it is for me to keep arresting my own brother over and over again?
Maybe you should stop arresting your brother over and over and over again.
You think this is a joke?
No, I don't.
Is this how you want to leave your mark on the world, huh? Now look, for all we know, we may be able to pass you through their security, because you're not a normal viral terrorist. Seem to be getting the hang of your, new symptoms, right?
Of course, the only downside being that, nope, can't think of anything. This is pretty freaking awesome.
All right, I got this whole thing figured out. We hit the town, maybe swing by the Space Needle, always wanted to see it, and then we're back home to save some lives.
You do realize when we hit the town, there's a fair chance the town's gonna, head back?
Can you imagine, can I just say this? Can you imagine the Sentinels with his power?
Oh, gosh.
Now that would be, like, the killer thing. You know what I mean?
They were kind of confusing. I was like, wait, how are they...
Yeah.
I was like, oh, whatever. Just go with it.
You just gotta go with it and have fun.
Yeah.
Basically. Anyway, alright. To
Okay.
the topic at hand.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to Fanboy Philosophers, Episode 1, Infamous Second Son, recorded Sunday, May the 25th, 2014. I am James Glass, and with me are my good friends Matt Roper.
Hello!
And Jonathan Smith. Alright, we're here to talk about Infamous Second Son, which we have all played through, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Alright, so before we get into Second Son, I just wanted to, do a little summation of the first two games. I remember I bought it just because of the Uncharted 2 beta that was going to be a part of it. If you bought that game, and I
forgot all about that.
Yeah, and it got good reviews. So I was like, okay, I'll get it at the same time. I think I probably got it first, and I was like, dude, this game is awesome.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Shooting lightning at people. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, that was a very different game. Very different.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of got addicted to that game, honestly. I played through it. I played through it again on hard. I almost got the platinum. That's the biggest bane of my ever, searching for a platinum. I came so close. I think I'm missing, one trophy or two trophies. Oh. But I just couldn't play it again. I was just like, I'm done with this game right now. Because I'd played through it twice, and I just I poured so many hours in that game. It's a lot of fun.
That's funny. I remember I did practically zero of the dead drops, so I was kind of lost in the story.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just wasn't interested at the time.
The story is nothing amazing in Infamous 1 anyway. Yeah. I mean, it's
except
kind of ending. Cool. I mean, the ending is cool, but I just got lost until the ending, until I played it through again. Uh-huh. I honestly was like, this was a very poorly put together, Yeah. And it has all the tropes of a comic book, which it's supposed to be mimicking, but you just I never felt attached to the characters. Zeke was always funny, though. I love Zeke.
Yeah. He's always funny. Yeah. And then
but John, you haven't played the other two, have you?
Yeah, the first one I played was Second Son.
Speak up.
The first one I played was Second Son.
Okay, gotcha.
Cool. That's cool. We'll be able to have a newcomer's perspective.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, we got more powers, more problems,
more graphics.
Yes.
That game was pretty.
Oh yeah, very much so.
I mean, it almost had to be after Uncharted 2. Like they really had to step up their game. But it was cool how those
probably got a
studios
bigger
really.
budget too.
Oh yeah. But it's cool how those studios really pushed each other. You know, like they said after what we saw in Infamous, in Uncharted 2, they're just like we really had to up our engine and change things around. So I thought they did a great job at adapting. To try and make the game better.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it also had two extremely distinct endings. One where Cole sacrifices himself.
Oh yeah,
and destroys the beast and cures the world of the ray field radiation virus sickness.
Yep.
And he dies. And then the alternate, the evil ending where he sort of saves the world by turning everybody he can into conduits and becoming the beast.
Doesn't he kill the rest too?
Yeah, well, he has to release an energy burst to activate conduits, but it also kills humans.
Zeke, no.
Yeah.
Does it inherently kill people, or does it anybody in the area just dies?
Anybody in the area just gets evaporated.
Yeah.
So you could just call a bomb threat, and then nobody dies.
What?
Whenever you call a bomb, this happens now. You call a bomb threat to a building, and if it's serious, they evacuate the building and the surrounding buildings. So just do that.
Mean, it could. Did it spread across the entire Earth, James? I forget now.
In the good ending?
In the bad ending,
bad ending. No, it's in the bad ending he the beast gives all his powers to Delsin and then explodes. Not Delsin. Oh gosh. At the end, the beast gives all his powers to Cole, and then Cole can goes around the whole world and releases energy blasts with and turns people into conduits. But he's got an army of conduits following him. So
yeah,
it's like he has an army. It's not like a bomb threat, but yeah, that ending actually the choice between those two endings actually kind of bothered me because I thought in when you choose the evil karma ending, Cole's we don't know if this is gonna work, so it's we don't know if the ray sphere is gonna work, so maybe the right choice to make is to sacrifice most of humanity and turn a smaller percentage into conduits, but it's in order to make the choice you have to go around and murder people and reverse your karma just to make that one choice, and that always bothered me. I know they wanted people to play the game twice, but I thought.
But maybe how about you make people play the game twice just from the outset? Don't even give you those options. There shouldn't even be an option there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel it should be I hear the new Wolfenstein game has this you make a big choice in the beginning and it dramatically changes the events of the entire game, whichever choice you make. So they set it up from the very beginning where if you want to know the whole story, you have to play the game again. They're not going to tease you with these oh, you could have made this choice if you went on the evil path, but since you're choosing so far to be good, you have to go out and kill a ton of people and bore yourself with our game just to start doing evil things if you think this sounds more interesting. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's kind of teasing you with it, but you can't even go that far with it.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Is there a lot more content? Do they make about twice as much content depending if you're good or evil?
In Infamous 2?
Or any of them? Is there a lot more content depending on which choice? Is it really worth if you want a different story, more dialogue and everything? Is there enough to justify that?
There's a couple different missions between good and evil karma in the second one. Not so much in the first one, but in the second one there's a couple different missions. But the main reason to play it again is that there's one point where you have to make a choice between getting ice powers and these fire powers, and that dramatically changes how you approach
That's a huge
combat.
difference, and that's that was what was good about that game compared to 1. Which is funny because I played 1 twice and didn't play 2 twice, but I've just been inundated with games. But anyway, that made it more distinctive, and also some of the story missions were vastly different in 2. What you would choose to do compared to the good story missions. And I think in 1, they were just kind of oh, at the end of this mission, it's the same mission, but at the end you just kill this person. And the good mission is, oh, it's this mission, but you just saved this person. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the missions were the same feeling. So unless you really love the combat and the gameplay, John, it wasn't like something you needed to go play again. It wasn't something that was, except to get the ending, which you could just watch online, obviously. So 2, I think, had a much bigger pool to make you want to come back and play it again, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. All right, so let's get into Infamous Second Son.
what?
Let's start with the story first. I know I said we should talk about the gameplay first, but I think I changed my mind. Deal with it.
It's fun. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Infamous Second Son actually follows the storyline based off the good karma ending of Infamous 2, where Cole sacrifices himself and, supposedly kills all the other conduits and or potential conduits, but apparently that's not the case. There's still conduits running around, and the government's rounding them up, for some reason, and they're called bioterrorists. John, I was curious, for a newcomer, how did the story feel for you? Were you able to follow it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not totally accurate because you sent me a video basically explaining where they summed up all the previous games.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I did know this. Like, I knew what you guys talking about.
Mm-hmm. Knew some basics. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, let's...
It did stand on its own.
Yeah, all right, that's good. Yeah, it definitely felt that way, because, Delson, he kind of knows as much as a new player would know, so let's talk about Delson. He's incredibly different from Cole is as a protagonist. He, he way more laid back, doesn't have a super gravelly voice, a lot younger, and design-wise, he looks like a lot of those early concept art that we were seeing for Cole's redesign in Infamous 2. Did you ever get that, Matt?
Yeah, I did notice that, honestly. I thought that was interesting. It's like they kind of saved that stuff, held on to it, and they're like, we'll just use it for a different game since everyone's mad we're changing Cole around. We'll save our skater punk for the next game. So.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. They really tried, I think, to take, just, what are we called? What generation are we? Generation X or something stupid? Yeah, I think they really tried to take, our generation of, people to, go with the flow. Let's do all this stuff. I'm not worried about a job or this or that. I just want to get my, I just want to have fun, basically. They took that kind of mentality and put it into this guy, which I thought was really interesting. So I thought he was fairly relatable in a way, compared to Cole, where Cole was just this how would you describe Cole, James?
Cole is just in a lot of ways Cole's kind of a drifter too. He was just a bike messenger in Empire City.
He was, but there was a startling lack. It wasn't a lack of personality, but he was just he was on top of whatever he was doing. He was just let's do this, let's get it done.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah, whereas this guy's just I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy, enjoy life, enjoy whatever. I'm gonna enjoy something that's supposed to be horrible, and just make the best of it.
Everything.
Yeah.
that basically sums up his entire character.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and he definitely, I think he definitely grows a bit throughout the course of the story. Though,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Though I don't know. I think not until really the end. So I'm kind of interested to see if they use him again as a protagonist. To be honest, I'm not sure if they'll use him again.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I think he's overpowered in a way, and they kept him underpowered in this game because, let's be honest, there are a lot more powers out there. Mm-hmm. And I know we're going to get into more of a discussion about the powers, but there's, paper power, as we can see with the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of other things. This guy can literally suck up any power out there.
Is he the only one that can do that?
What's that?
Is he the only one that can do that?
That's what I'm curious about. Are they going to put us in the role of someone else who doesn't have any powers and can start doing the same thing, so that we get a different taste of powers, but they're just come in contact with different people, so they don't get rock, they don't get Smoke, but they'll have different powers. Or are we going to get him again, and we're just going to add to our power allotments? But it just seems. I mean, they limit you a little bit that you have to switch between the powers, but it's still you should be the most powerful person in that world.
I'd say
you know?
I would say. Yeah, I would say, and it is a little annoying because they don't completely explain it. But every time he does absorb a new power, it's like, he doesn't just get to master it right off the bat. He has to like find all them blast shards to sort of like
no end of those.
Himself. Yeah. But yeah. I could in the future I could kind of see him being like a sort of like a mentor type to like other heroes, other protagonists. It's like, oh, that's Delsin, man. He's like, he can be like a hippie power guru or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I kind of don't see him as a. It's weird. Even though he kind of like sort of guides Fetch and Eugene a little bit, I kind of don't see him as a leader, if you know what I mean.
No, I honestly think he's a character that could become, very. He grows in this game, and depending on what they want to do, this story for the next, he could become a very worthwhile villain.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm not alone in thinking. Oh gosh, what's the name of the woman?
Augustine.
I'm blanking. Augustine. Her power was a little, overpowered at times, underpowered at others, but overall, a little underwhelming. And he would be, and he would be ridiculous, and as a final boss, and that could be something really epic where it would take place across. It would almost have to take place across like 3 different locations,
Mm-hmm.
Because he would be flying around. Like every time you beat him down, he would fly to another place and like start using a couple other different powers and stuff. Like he could be insane.
Yeah,
especially if he loses the beanie.
The beanie is the beanie the container for all his evil.
Yep. As soon as he loses his good side's gone. Oh man.
So John, what did you think of Delsin?
That was the main guy, right?
Yeah, the main guy. Beanie Boy.
Yeah, that was really well developed.
It's cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Cool. And then, of course, you can't have Delsin without Reggie.
Reggie's great.
Reggie.
I wish he was in more of the game, honestly.
Yeah. I noticed when did either of you play through again with Evil Karma?
I have not now.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been meaning to do that.
Uh-huh. So. Yeah, the one thing I was kind of disappointed by was the fact that I think 95% of the cutscenes are the same in the Evil Karma.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like even when it's like in those points where it's like, or with Fetch and Eugene where it's like corrupt Eugene or whatever the other option is, help Eugene or whatever, like I think the cutscenes are basically the same. No matter which one you choose. And it's like, it's really weird because it's like, when you're murdering people left and right with Evil Karma, you get no reaction from Reggie. Like, all the cutscenes with Reggie are the same. And like, I thought like there was going to be something different where like, if you went the evil route, like Reggie would like betray you or something because he thinks you're doing, bad things.
Yeah.
Because you are doing bad things.
Horrible things.
Or at least like show something where he's like turning a blind eye or something, like he's trying like, or like something that shows like he's trying to believe that like his brother is doing
good.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah, and then he dies at the end. Oh, Reggie.
Well, unless you see the person literally torn apart, and you never know if they're actually dead.
I think they're pretty dead. He didn't have powers.
He
just kind of sank to the bottom of the ocean, which was weird.
He's weak.
If they didn't show it, and that always gives them the option. For the next game, that's an option that they could very well go back and say, "Oh, no, we didn't see him die," and to avenge while he was dying, his body in desperation burst out his powers.
No, you're absolutely right, John. That can't happen. I don't think that was such a turning point for this game, and it would definitely destroy like any growth or whatever, and any emotion you kind of had in that game.
Yeah, but they do exactly that thing all the time, where death is meaningful, and they go backtrack it to get points. That happens all the time. It's stupid.
Oh yeah. I think video games are coming into a different area now, and although Uncharted proves me wrong with their bringing Sully back. That would have been an amazing death and an amazing send-off for a character in Uncharted 3, but then they brought him back, like you're saying, John. So that did disappoint me a lot in Uncharted. I'm hoping these developers are getting a little bit more comfortable and are okay with killing off a character and just letting him die. Letting it be for the sake of the story. Don't worry about future sequels. Don't worry about anything else. This is something I'd really like to see happen, in the future.
Because I do see the incentive, because they had really good dialogue between those two characters.
Oh yeah, it's completely dynamic. It's interesting. Now the good thing is they brought in another they have another cast of characters, which did not honestly get the spotlight like I wish they had. I feel like the story could have been even a little bit more fleshed out if he had more interaction with. I feel so bad. I'm missing all the names right now, but the girl with the pink hair,
Fetch,
who gives him neon, Fetch. And then the nerd kid. I mean, I love these characters as they interact with him, but they have a few missions with them, and then you're almost done. And I'm like, no, I love his interaction with them. He is better when he's talking with people. He's not this lone. Cole had this very lone. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, which fit his personality. That he's not communicating with people, and he would still communicate with Zeke throughout the game. So you got their relationship building, but once you finish the missions for Fetch and all the other guys, it's just you kind of drop them until the very end of the game, and you just don't get that camaraderie as much as you do with Zeke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
An excellent way to put in side missions.
What?
That seems like an excellent opportunity to put in side missions.
Yeah.
Which they did, but they didn't put enough in. You know what I mean? Each side mission could have unlocked a little bit more personality, a little bit more story between these characters, and they did it a little bit. Right when you unlock your power with them, you do a couple missions with them, but then that's it. I was just during those missions, I had the most fun because you're bantering with her. She's telling you, blow this up, blow that up. He's like, oh, calm down. We're gonna let these people live. We're not gonna be just murdered. And it's just you see both those characters grow in that moment. Now, I know he does more growing with his brother overall, and I think his brother is the Zeke for this game. And they kind of switch roles. Cole was the dark one. Zeke is the the funny guy. He's the comic relief. Whereas in this one, Delson's the relief, and then his brother is the, he's the strong, he's right all there character, So I didn't mind that, but I just felt like they could have opened it up a little bit more with the other characters.
Yeah, the story, both ways, it kind of feels like it's over before it even really gets started.
Yes. Yep.
I was quite saddened by that, which I almost wonder, if that was a budgetary, sort of consideration they had to make. With all these next-gen graphics got to be so pretty, they can only make so many cutscenes.
Yeah, yeah.
But thankfully, and also, I loved the facial animations were kind of ridiculous in this one. I say that's,
oh my word.
That's one thing that really stood out to me, and especially with the face and the motion capture, just Troy Baker. I hope Troy Baker gets to be in some blockbuster movies because he is really, really good.
I kind of don't want him to be, so he can be in more games. Is that bad? He's just so good. He can do
both. He can do.
No, he can't. He can do both. You're right.
I want to see Troy Baker in the flesh.
He was amazing in The Last of Us. You wouldn't even recognize his voice. I mean, everything about his performance was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see him in the next Uncharted. That would be just amazing.
Oh gosh, they're gonna.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine them become buddies and stuff? And oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Let's see. What's Troy Baker done recently? Oh yeah, that's right. Troy Baker. He's going to be the player character in the next Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
He's just so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh god.
But those facial animations are ridiculous, especially him and his brother. The girl looked a little weird in the face. Hers was the only animation. Fetch, yeah. Hers was the only animation where sometimes she like looked good, sometimes she just looked like sickly and homely or something, you know. So
she was a recovering drug addict.
That's true. Maybe they were trying to work that in a little bit. But yeah. So Augustine was great, you know.
Yeah.
They did a mature
fact,
older woman really well.
Fun fact. The voice actress for Fetch, Laura Bailey, she's also been in a lot of things. And
okay.
She's also the voice actress for a very beloved villain of yours, if you can guess. A villain in an anime that you like very, very much.
Oh, not Lust in Full Metal, huh?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
That is ridiculous. Wow, she's got some range.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She's also Maka from Soul Eater. She also does that. Yeah, she's another one that gets around a lot. It's weird. There's like this whole community of like anime and video game voice actors that are just like you never know, but they're like in everything.
Oh yeah, it's great, and it's cool because those people are really talented. You might think they just put their voice up a little higher and make exaggerated, things in their anime thing, but they really do change their voices for all those anime shows and stuff. That's awesome. That is really awesome.
What do you guys think of Fetch? I thought her flashback was like really, made you really sympathetic towards her, and she was
really.
Wait,
really
did
what?
she actually kill her brother, or was that an accident?
Yeah, she really accidentally killed him.
The police report, whatever it said, showed, it was clearly an accident. But the way she described it herself is like, she was paranoid and intended, like in her paranoia, actually tried and intended to kill him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like she killed him and then it's like, oh my gosh, I killed him. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
So the accident was that she was in such a messed up, druggy state. That,
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, and I feel like
I thought she was great.
Yeah.
Very sympathetic character.
Yeah.
Amazing how you find her. I love when you're chasing her down. You're seeing her write all these like crazy things in neon. You're like, what kind of head case am I chasing?
Exactly.
the fake, deal with her dead brother that she wrote on the wall.
Yeah.
I know. And then Delson sleeps with her. I'm like, dude, you're going to end up in an alley. Your body is going to be freaking toast. She will kill you.
Where did I miss the part where he sleeps with her?
There's a bit of dialogue that really implies it.
It's really easy to miss. It's a lot more pronounced in the evil karma mission. It's more
really
obvious. Yeah.
Oh wow! Tell me about this.
Yeah. Well, it's like they her evil karma mission is actually kind of fun because you get to obliterate all those obnoxious protesters who were like
nice.
Yeah, who were like conduits are devils or whatever. Or it's one of them has such a great one of them has such an amazing poster. I'm just like, wow, screw you. And it's like, oh yeah, one of their chants is better dead than a pothead, better dead than a pothead. And I was like, wow, you people really need to get a life.
In the good ending, John, or when you're doing the good side, it's like a brief comment where she's like, why'd you have to get up so early this morning and leave me, or something like that. So it's like really implied that he, spent the night with her.
Like, sorry about the fireworks last night. It's
yeah. I love that.
Yeah, that was good.
It's funny because you can keep a game at a teen rating without showing anything, but still have like implied stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And still
Yeah.
have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a T game, and they just made a very mature reference. But if you don't have if you don't have the knowledge, it would go right over you. You know,
Well,
you wouldn't even know.
Have, like, Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob and shit like that.
Oh yeah. So much in that.
But I just like that because I feel like I can still enjoy T games. Because when I see a T rating on a game nowadays, I'm like, ugh, they probably compromise some stuff. They really want to do things, but Uncharted and this game have both implied things but never shown them, and they still are really fun games. Really, great stories and whatnot. So
I'd say
it shows you can still do something on a T rating.
They're more appropriate for teens than a lot of PG-13 movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked at what I see in PG-13 movies sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
And PG-13 movies have weird, stupid rules. Like, you can have one F word, and you always know this because X-Men series will choose
Yep.
one distinct moment to say the F word one time. If you say it one more time than that one time, it's an R rating.
What's that one where they were rounding up and like Wolverine just said, "Hey, we're trying." Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was great, and they choose great times to do it. But then I watched James and I watched the unrated version of Wolverine. This is the one that wasn't in theaters. They had a few scenes, but he says the F word. Yeah, he says the F word a couple times.
Man, I wanted a bit more gore in my unrated version
I know,
of
right?
Wolverine. Come on.
But they actually did add blood and stuff that wasn't in the original movie. There was no blood in the original.
Oh wow.
So they added some scenes and whatever, but they added a couple more FUs in the movie, which I was cracking up at. I was like, oh, they're really taking their taking their rating home. Oh my gosh! But yeah, that is a funny thing. Fetch is a great character, though.
Yeah,
like I said, I was upset we didn't see more of her.
Yeah,
She really drops off the face of the earth halfway through the game, and I'm like,
and then comes back at the end.
Where is she? Come on, yeah, she comes back at the end. But I was just like, that was such a good dynamic.
And then she and Eugene get randomly captured near the end.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, what? Why? What? How'd that happen?
Wait, can't Eugene just turn into this gigantic? How do you capture that?
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Eugene. Let's move on. Let's move on to Eugene. Eugene was cool, but I wasn't as hot with his character. Just a little weird. Like I kind of hated how they kept referring to him as the gamer.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of awkward. I don't know. More
kind of insulting your audience.
That's what I was saying.
They're playing the freaking
It's like,
thing.
hey guys, we created you in our game, and here you are, this pimply, glasses-faced nerd.
Yeah, that was a really
who's afraid to go outside.
the sun, no. And it's like I'm not saying people like him don't exist, but it's like
It's the stereotype.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not their most original character by far.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And not an original problem or fear either. Fetch,
Yeah.
I thought was great. Them tackling the drug issue and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually had a meaningful problem. Him, it's just like, yo, grow up. Who are your parents?
Her did you see
What the fuck are you afraid of?
one of the little side notes in the loading screen is like, Eugene's mother was a congresswoman who voted to fund the DUP less than 12 months before he started showing powers.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Big deal. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That
The DUP was good at first.
What?
On the surface, the DUP, when they were first starting out, didn't look like they were legitimate and not assholes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everyone was so well. The one thing that the game kind of has a problem showing is how much of an effect the events of Infamous 2 actually had on the world. Because if you remember in Infamous 2, from New York to New York or Empire City, from Empire City down to the South Coast, the Beast just created an enormous path of destruction, just obliterating city after city. And I don't know, like, yeah, I just felt
should have
like...
been something in the paper like, oh, rebuilding in New York is still going on. Jobs are strong in this area, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something referencing what was going on in America now, thanks to what happened with the Beast.
Yeah, because like it was only 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no...
You would still be rebuilding all that.
There would probably be like refugees everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know, but yeah, well,
Yeah,
it is on the other side of the country, but still, it was a little weird. Also, the thing about Eugene, which I found strange, is like apparently he was bullied, but if his mother was a congresswoman, wouldn't he like be going to like a nicer school or like a private school or something?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, wait a minute,
Doesn't add up.
yeah, doesn't add up. I like his powers, but his character doesn't really add up. Yeah. All right. What
Let's
about
talk
Hank?
about his powers. Can we talk about his powers? Or are we doing that separately?
We're doing that separately.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Hank, what do you think about Hank?
Jackass.
But John, he had a daughter. Haven't you seen Spider-Man 3?
Yeah. And I don't associate any. Oh my.
Funny you should mention.
That's not a good point.
I think they ripped him right out of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Hank's a bit more of an asshole than Sandman is. Sandman's a little slightly more sympathetic, but yeah, Hank's like, he shows up in the beginning, gives you your powers, betrays you at the end.
Yeah,
he serves his purpose.
But the thing that annoys me is he was made out to actually think that, oh no, Augustine wasn't going to hurt you or anything. I thought she was going to. Come on. Complete jackass.
Yeah. It's like, shut up, dude. Shut up.
Yo, be sad.
That dude is deliciously stupid.
All right.
He's just like, I feel like he's just there, like you said, as a plot point to betray him and to give him powers in the beginning. That's all. Nothing special.
Oh, it's not like the game made it obvious at every single point that what was good. It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that was a surprise. We're either of you surprised that was going to happen.
No, that's true.
Mm-hmm. All right. Augustine?
She's interesting. I'm kind of torn with her character a little bit.
Yeah, she's it was so weird. Like when she showed up, I was really surprised that she wasn't Moya from Infamous 1. Like I really thought they were going to harken back to that.
Hmm.
I was
she came out of left field. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool that they're doing a woman as a villain now.
Mm-hmm.
As the main villain, I should say. There have been women villains in Infamous before, but she lacked a little bit of the drive, I felt like, to kind of be an Infamous villain. Like, you have to be a little more crazy. I think she was too normal.
I mean, I liked. Well,
she had reasonable goals, and that's not acceptable.
I thought she was actually clear. I thought she was clearly unbalanced. Just based on her. The thing is, I kind of, Delson and Augustine are actually surprisingly similar in that they're both extremely short-sighted. And that Delson is short-sighted in the typical way where it's like, he doesn't really, care about what he's going to do in his life. And then at the end, he's just like, yeah, we're going to, expose Augustine to the world and then free all the conduits. And then, who cares? Nothing bad will happen after that. And then Augustine is short-sighted in that, like, she's not really looking at the big picture. It's like, you're just gonna keep collecting conduits and putting them in this, like, secure prison when they're safe. Like, you're gonna run out of room, Or eventually you're gonna run into someone more powerful than you, and they're gonna, make everything crazy.
Or
they're gonna
if you
break everybody out.
To revolt, you're fucked.
Say that again?
Or if you have a bunch of powerful people in a single prison and they decide to revolt, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I
really.
thought... I was convinced that, like, the twist at the end when you got her powers was that she was planning a rebellion or something, was that... Because, you know, they allude to the fact that, like in, you know, like, in Fetch's, you know, backstory, they show that they were, like, training her to, like, fight and stuff, and, like, they were doing tests on Eugene, and, like, I thought, like, oh, well, they're probably planning a revolt, you know, or Augustine is, like, you know, planning to, like, you know, take the world for the conduits or something like that.
Yeah,
But she was legitimately convinced that no, we can just keep all the conduits in this little prison, and
that's what I thought was
everything will be hunky dory.
That's what I thought was kind of weird about her as a main villain. I honestly thought that's what she was doing too. I was expecting more of a grandiose plan or whatever. And when I found out, no, there's the hook is there is no plan. I was like, that's boring. You know?
Exactly.
You know, she's almost a stand-up character if you think about it. Like, yeah, she's off balance because she just didn't think of something, but technically she's actually a good character, and that's what I saw at the end. I was just like, it took all the wind out of my sails of wanting to, you know, mess her up even more. It's just like, I was like, why don't you just take her power, leave her there, and go, you know, free your clan from their ice spikes? I don't know. Or rock spikes.
I think when the difference between the good guy and the bad guy was whether or not people would actually accept conduits and not really. That's fairly anticlimactic. That's not a good difference between the good guy and the bad guy. It takes all the wind out of it.
I think so.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, her her ability to, like, just put cement over people's hands and, like, stop them from using their powers didn't make a single lick of sense.
And it was overpowered. Like, that's another thing. I don't know if you want to get in powers yet, but she is one of them.
We can start to get into that.
All right, she doesn't make sense. Okay, let's start with Augustine. She's the most overpowered villain in the history of man, and then at the very end, she loses all that capability. She should have been able to stop you. Like, this is how it should have went down. If you were going to give her all that power from what she had in the beginning, guess what? Get Delsin to touch her first thing, and that is what makes him be able, like, not be able to be stopped. Is every time she creates ice spikes in his legs, he can just make them go disappear. You know what I mean? So it's almost worthless to her to even do it. So then she has to start trying to beat him up. Like, it just didn't make sense. All of a sudden, she's not trying to do her normal thing to take him down. And it's like, of course he's going to beat you. You're not using your biggest power.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I hate when games do that. They treat you like an idiot. And it's like, no, I'm not a dummy. This should not be happening. She should have been able to kill me by now.
Yeah.
You know?
I would have thought that, like, after I liberated half the city of DUP control, that they would stop sending goons, and they would just that she would just go herself the next time.
I love those conversations with the secretary.
Those are amazing. But at a certain point, it's like,
it just becomes ridiculous. Oh yeah,
it's like, why doesn't Augustine just go out there and finish
business?
Oh,
it's so ridiculous. It is. Oh man.
But yeah,
funny, though.
It's like, I mean, I can maybe understand if, like, they put, like, the special cuffs on someone to, like, absorb the radiation, but even that is just kind of like, these people are tampering with the laws of physics. I'm not sure some hand clamps are going to stop it. Like, especially the cement. It's like, oh no, she put some cement around my legs. I'll just deconstruct myself into smoke and, like, smoke out of it. You know?
Right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like they didn't treat us like I don't know, like we have a brain.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm shooting missiles out of my hand, and I'm, like, evaporating into video data and traveling through, like, satellite links. Like, some rocks around my legs are gonna stop me? What?
Yep.
No. Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to the rest of the gameplay. Talk about the powers. The smoke. I like the smoke in that, I mean, it was basically like lightning in the fact that a lot of the powers are just sort of substitutes for standard shooter weapons. Like there's like pistol and shotgun and grenade, but the grenade was a little different in that like your smoke grenade to like just stun them.
Yeah. Yep.
And the ability to travel through the pipes and like burst out of the top was cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed all that a lot.
Yeah.
I thought they weakened it a little bit from some of Cole's powers, but then you realize why kind of later on because he's going to get more kind of thing.
Yeah.
And each power has like a weak point in combat, I guess, except for what's the other one? Radio,
video,
or video. That's right.
Yeah.
But I was just like, there are a few things I wish I could have done, kind of like Cole with smoke power, but then you don't mind it as much later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Neon,
but I ultimately really like that one.
Neon steals the show for a while until you get video.
Oh my goodness!
You can just zip around the entire place.
Neon's amazing.
I thought it would have been cool if like you had been able to switch on the fly, but had less ammo for each power. I think that would have been better because then you could like zip around with Neon and then switch to smoke to like actually do some damage. And then
I hear you.
Zip around and like if like running with Neon like cost more energy, so then it's like you can't just zip around whenever you want. You have to be thoughtful about it.
Running with Neon cost energy?
It should have.
He's saying it should have costed a little bit of energy at least, right?
Yeah.
I never even noticed even the smallest amount. and I just press that consistent, but those going really long distances.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it was so weird because I was trying to figure out like I was trying to figure out, all right, okay, how did the designers design these powers? Like clearly smoke isn't just going to get left to the wayside. Like I'm like, is smoke more of an up close power? Like is that what it's supposed to be? But it kind of isn't. And then it's like you still might as well just use Neon.
Yeah.
And then video for evil karma is entirely overpowered. Once you fully level up all the evil video powers, you don't need to use anything else.
Yeah.
Because the missile barrage for you get to launch like 5 of those sword missiles at once, and they just obliterate. Like you just tag a helicopter with video, and then you just walk away, and you know that helicopter's dead.
Wow. I never played the evil one. I watched a video, and I was just like, this is so much better.
Mm-hmm. And you have like an extended machine gun, the rapid fire video, just like brrrr, just annihilating everything. And what's the video grenade? I can't remember.
It's the invisibility.
Oh right, he goes invisible. Right. He goes invisible. Yeah, and then you just go invisible, and then when you're in danger with video, you just go invisible or you fly away with your wings, and it's like, well, I don't ever need to use Neon or smoke ever again. It was more balanced with good karma though. So yeah, what were your guys' favorites?
It kind of evolved for me. I only played the good side. So obviously, smoke was more powered up into the good side, so I liked each one for different situations. Honestly, I thought some of the enemies were a little overpowered sometimes. When you're, especially as
only in groups, like alone, they're all kind of
in groups. That's what honestly, that's what I mean. In groups, definitely. When you're Neon, you really feel like you cannot like take on a group of guys without running away, healing up, to going back, running away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I would like to switch to smoke and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I gonna say? I really liked when I got Neon. It was just like a revelation. I was just like, wow, nothing in Infamous 1 or 2 was like this,
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. And then video again, the same thing. You're just like, you can go even faster. You can get around even faster and everything. So I really enjoyed all the powers. I think the weakest power is, and that's why they don't give it to you until at the end, is the rock. That's really lumbering and kind of even lame for some of the moves that it has.
Yeah, I
Pretty
thought
lame.
It would have been. I remember you said before you should have gotten the rock powers that first time you fight her after Reggie dies, that's when you should have gotten the rock powers.
Yes.
And then, you can, and then if you could switch between them, then you have this big final battle where she's using all these rock powers that you can't use because she's had them for longer. But then it's like she's the master of one, but you're the jack of all trades.
Yeah.
That could have been an epic final battle, but instead you just beat her rock scorpion, which was cool. I won't lie, I enjoyed that, but it kind of felt anticlimactic not to be able to use all my other powers in the final battle with her. Exactly. And then when you do fight her, like in after Reggie dies, it's like you can only use smoke and then a little bit of video when she blows up those generators. So bosses have always been Infamous's weak point, but bosses have been the weak point for like the entire industry the past generation. Like, I don't get it.
The final boss, you mean, Syndrome?
Just bosses in general. I don't get what happened. It's like
some Japanese studios get them really well, though.
Yeah,
really do it well. Like, I think
maybe it is just
Bayonetta is one of the some of the coolest bosses. I think like Metal Gear series has some of the best bosses ever.
Speaking of which, James, how far did you get in Far Cry 3?
Not very far.
Oh, okay. The bosses in that. Matt, have you played Far Cry 3?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay.
I actually have Blood Dragon. I just haven't had time to play it yet.
Well, that's a little bit different.
A little different.
Yeah,
but I also felt like enemy variety wasn't terribly impressive in this game. It was just like there's like your basic soldiers with like who can rock jump. There's those dudes in the trench coats that like can trap your feet sometimes, but they're really bad at it, so you can avoid them easily.
Yeah.
There's the dudes with the miniguns who show up sometimes. And then there's like the guys who like float around and throw giant rocks at you.
They could have definitely had. How about if, and then maybe they just didn't have the development time for this. How about having some conduits freaking terrorizing the city and you have to take them down? You know what I mean?
Conduits?
Yeah, or you free one of the conduits and then he starts going crazy and trying to kill people and you gotta stop him,
Maybe.
You're like freeing all these future possible conduits and then nothing, you know what I mean? Those were like when the game started to really be, okay, this is a video game. Like, free 10 conduits and you're like, okay, yeah.
Alrighty.
Same thing every time. And why am I not beating up the guys who are just beating him up, Just really weird. But I kind of wanted a little bit more different powers to fight. I was tired of fighting the rock guys. And you'd think if she has these powers to infuse her powers into them, she could take other conduits' powers. And that could have made her even more evil. And, a nice kind of twist was she's actually taking people's powers for her men. So you're fighting a whole variety of powers. But she thinks it's all good because she's ultimately protecting them with their own powers in her DP soldiers.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Think she would have.
Maybe even taking the powers is like really painful and like dangerous to their lives. But she's like, it's worth it to protect them. But you know what I mean? That would make her even more psycho. A psycho freak, and her more like I need to stop her now.
Yeah, like I think she should have been stuck with the rock powers, the concrete.
Yeah,
but because in Infamous 2, they have that whole thing with like powers can be transferred to other people with the machine.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole idea that you could create like powered soldiers, but for some reason, yeah, that's right. They do explain. They do try to explain that. I remember in one of the dead drops for Second Son, it's like. Concrete was like the easiest to use and or like the easiest to teach and control. All the others were too freaky. It's like, that's too bad.
Either they weren't powerful enough, or they couldn't be controlled, and they had to also be easy.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah, but still, they could have had like special agents who had been able to master a different kind of power.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, and then you can just say, well, Delsin can't absorb their power because they're not prime conduits. Because he couldn't absorb it from the regular rock dudes.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Exactly. No, that's great. The only annoying part is that'd make you really want those powers too. Like I never cared about the rock powers, but if I would have seen like, let's say if someone had paper power, I would have been like, oh, I want that, you know?
Or just like they'd gotten a few people to learn neon or video.
Oh yeah, that too.
If Infamous Second Son was a Japanese video game, then Augustine would have had like a sort of like a team of like evil henchmen, superpowered henchmen, who all had like different special powers, and they all would have been dressed in stylish matching outfits. This is why I love anime.
So true.
One thing I wanted to say also about evil. When you follow the evil path, it doesn't make any sense because it's like you're supposed to be like kind of like this sort of like anarchic rebel, but for some reason it's or you're still supposed to be, you still get the vibe that you're supposed to be against Augustine, but for some reason if you free the people trapped in the cages, that gives you good points, and just murdering them for no reason whatsoever gives you like bad points. And it's like, well, isn't this all just to like take down Augustine? So it's like, I just don't understand.
And I broke a bunch of those by accident, not even knowing what
that happens
going
sometimes.
on with those cages. I thought I was letting them go, and I'm like, what? Why am I getting evil points? I was like, oh, I've got to do the finger swipe on my PS4. Ooh. Just like, this is so annoying. This is where it feels a little bit more like a video game. It takes me a little bit out of it, but ultimately, I thought it was just, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I definitely felt like evil karma, it's like what you're doing in game is like you're being this like bizarre psychopathic like supervillain that just murders everybody. But in the story for evil karma, you feel like you're supposed to be like this anarchic rebel, kind of, sort of, maybe.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really come across. Yeah, I felt like they definitely could have they could have done more interesting things to. Evil karma shouldn't have been evil karma. It should have been like chaotic and orderly. But in both ones, you think you're the good guy. It's yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I think that whole karma system is antiquated, and they need to get rid of it.
Yeah. Just choose at the beginning. Do you want to be a good villain, a hero, and maybe give you a few glimpses of what that would be? Or do you want to be a bad, or do you feel like evil? Do you want to own the town? Do you want to do this, and that? Just get that out up front and then continue on, Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah. Yep.
They want to save them a lot of unnecessary, like, even showing stuff, if you could, the story could have flowed a lot better too, You're not having some of these faux choices when you know what you're going to pick. I mean, giving those people the choices, some people might not know. They admit before you buy the game, if you're going to be good, be all good, or else you're going to be underpowered. If you're going to be bad, be all bad, or else you're going to be underpowered. And then they give you the choices. Guess what? There are people that don't listen to games media or play video games a lot, and then what if they wanted to be bad at this one point or good at another or whatever? And then they're like, wait, I'm locked out from this power,
Yeah.
And I think they get around it by saying, oh, if you just do more missions, you can always up your karma. A lot of good things. You can always up your karma. Same with bad. But that takes a long time, and no one has the attention span for that. So just take that system out of it.
It's just not very interesting to do that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so. I also feel like the evil ending, I felt like could have been better. Like, if they had sort of, instead of it being evil, if it had been like sort of the chaotic, anarchic sort of, Viva la Revolution sort of thing. Like doing sort of not totally black and white. Like at the end, it's like Betty is like, "You have disgraced our people," and he's like, "What?" It's like, why are you surprised, man? You were murdering people all over the city. They have TVs. Yeah. They have the news. Like, I feel like what the evil ending should have been, it's like you were this, sort of anarchic rebel, and then it's like, you're trying to do good things, and then at the end you get there and like there's a nurse or something. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, they all passed away. When he opens the doors, and then you turn around, and then you turn around.
Like
and
he almost got so obsessed in his evil nature that he didn't go there soon enough. Or
exactly.
Yes, I think that's great. Yeah,
and then it's like they're inside the building, and then you hear like the armies out. It's like Delson Rowe, come out with your hands up, and you see like the armies come to get you, and then he goes all evil and angry, and he jumps up and does his dive bomb.
Goes crazy. Yeah,
and then,
that would have been great.
And then he becomes the Beast. Maybe not the Beast, but
I'm so done with the Beast by now.
The Beast.
You know what I mean? I think they need to.
I thought one of the options was going to be like he was going to become the Beast because the smoke powers were like.
Oh yeah.
The smoke powers were like exactly like the Beast.
Yeah, you're right. No, and
but since that power wasn't innately his, like they didn't have to.
I kind of had a problem with the Beast in the previous games being like this huge,
Godzilla.
Powerful thing. But then you beat him so easily in the game.
Yeah.
Like this is so easy.
I think a couple of cruise missiles could have taken him out.
Yeah.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. A couple of jet fighters. Yeah. Again, Westerners seem incapable of doing proper boss fights.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to come down to the fact.
Yeah. Too bad.
Oh, because that is too bad. It is.
Hmm.
What are a couple games you think that have like excellent boss battles? I named two of my favorites, which was Bayonetta and Metal Gear. Do you have any others you think have great boss battles? And John, I want to hear what you think too.
For me, it would be Resident Evil 4 and God of War 2.
Oh yeah,
God of War 2. God of War 2 is just
that's an example of an American studio that can get it right. Yeah.
Where I'm like, and then I play God of War 3. I'm like, what the heck happened?
Some of them were good. I like the Poseidon fight, but that's the only one I can remember. So
yeah,
that's like the best. That's the best one.
It's a great opening, and then all the others are like,
just kind of like meh. Yep.
Style
what do you think, John?
Substance. Yeah, John. What do you think?
No, nothing really stands out.
Oh, really?
Maybe like Metroids.
Ooh, yeah.
Prime, yeah. Like Prime,
I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Nintendo is pretty good at bosses.
Do know how to make boss fights.
Yeah, right. That is a Western game. Nintendo is pretty good at bosses. The Mario games are looking really easy, but I know you like the Zelda bosses, right, James?
Oh,
you're mixed. Maybe not the recent ones, but some of the older ones he did.
Yeah,
right?
like Ocarina has some good boss fights. I don't know. Wind Waker, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about like. So there's Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess and. Yeah, I don't know. I need to replay Ocarina of Time on 3DS to see if that's as good as I remember it is.
You should.
Or you know what? I have my N64 just lying around. I should probably just plug that into the back of my TV.
Apparently, it looks a lot better on 3DS.
Yeah, well, you know how much I care about graphics.
Yep. Now, I'm trying to think if there's any others that were really. I mean, obviously the RPGs. It's kind of weird because it's not like a technical thing. I mean, with like the Final Fantasy games, like especially the turn-based ones. But some of them were like awesome. Mm-hmm. Like they're incredibly hard, and you felt like you really defeated them. Like in Final Fantasy X, like some of those bosses were really hard. And you felt good, but it's not like a thing where I was like, oh, I played this gameplay. I had to get this gameplay down really perfectly. It's like you basically had to choose the right moves and be powerful enough to beat them, you know?
Oh, Kingdom
RPGs
Hearts
are a little. Oh, Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Kingdom Hearts 1 has really great bosses. Kingdom Hearts 2 would have good bosses if it wasn't so dang easy. But then the other games, like Birth by Sleep, has some good bosses. 3D has some good bosses.
Okay.
Yeah. That's usually one where they're pretty good at it. Yeah, it's just like... Obviously not all, because we've mentioned some good ones, but it seems like most Western developers have lost the ability to like make really good boss fights.
And most certainly shooters. Can you think of a single shooter? Can you think of a single shooter with a good final boss?
No, because they're all so obsessed with their...
You guys play Far Cry 3. Come on.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm playing it.
Don't spoil anything, because I can't wait to see what James thinks of it. 'Cause then if he really likes it,
laughing my ass off here as you get just James. I can't wait to hear what you say.
Neither can I. Neither can I.
Nice.
I've already been through one. I've been through a mushroom experience when I went into some caves and apparently inhaled some mushroom fumes. Well, man, far out. But
I also like the Tales series. I think the Tales series has some good bosses.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. So yeah, what do we want to see in future Infamous games?
I'm gonna say a different character.
Agreed.
Unless I think I want more story. I think they've made a huge leap with this game compared to the other Infamouses.
What if the main character is the Fetch for the next one?
I think I want a different power. I want something other than Neon. But I would love if he interacted with Fetch. I would love if he interacted with all these characters. But I think I want to do a different power. I want an even more fleshed out story. I just don't know where Delson's can go now that his brother's dead and stuff. Unless they think up something really good and bring the characters back. Like, I would be all for it. But I think they made a huge jump forward with this game and story. And I want them to go all the way next time. I want the next one to be like an Uncharted to me,
It's kind of
story-wise.
They nailed the characters and the character interactions way more.
Yes.
But the story is kind of like, eh.
It's just there. Yeah,
plot,
it doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's way better than the other Infamous games, which is the only problem I have with them is like their characters were lame, their story was just convoluted and crazy like a comic book, and I was just like, this brought things back to believability-ish, ness, but they still need to make me care more about it, I think.
Agreed.
So, what do you think, James?
I'd like to see... One thing they could do with Delsin is they could kind of make him grow up a bit more, and that like one of the... And what's obviously going to happen is... I mean, I thought it was kind of... They leave it kind of... They leave the ending more open than they make it appear, which is kind of impressive in its own right. It's like, oh, we freed all the conduits and everything's gonna be fine, but it's like, I'm sure there's a couple of legitimate nutcases that they had locked up in there amongst
and
all
really angry that they've been locked up that long.
And very angry, and people who are going to be like, oh, now I'm free, now I'm going to take revenge on the world, and now Dustin's going to be like, oh, I did something good, but I also did something bad,
and he got rid of the only force that could fight them, the DUP.
Exactly.
So now he has to become the DUP. So you're right. That would make some really interesting choices. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how far does he go? Does he go as far as the DUP, as to like killing and imprisoning these guys, or what?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that would be great. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. I think it's kind of obvious, but what do I know?
What do you think, John?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see.
You'll just play whatever, right?
I want to see. I want to see a protagonist that's all about fire. Like all their powers are fire based.
Fire
based.
Did you play Infamous 2 as an evil?
No, I didn't. But like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I've seen. Yeah, I am surprised too. I've seen some of the stuff with that. I'm like, that looks cool, but definitely
not enough to make you go back.
Yeah, not as fully fleshed out as like a character completely like I want a character centered. I want a character centered around fire the way Cole was centered around lightning.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and be like,
and that's kind of what I kind of want for the next game again. I just love Cole feels completely fleshed out by the end of the game. And this, you feel like you have a third of each of these powers. Like you can't unlock the full amount of these powers because you have all of them, and they didn't want to go into all that.
Mm-hmm.
But Fetch and I keep forgetting the nerd's name. What's his name again? Eugene. Fetch and Eugene. They're much.
He even has a nerdy
powers.
name.
He does.
Eugene. It's like, come on. Come on, you guys. Come on. How more stereotypical?
Come on, guys. Really? That's funny. But they are even better at their powers than you are. Like he creates he becomes a huge monster thing, and It's just like then I'll explain to you, oh, you can get that if you just do this, this, and that. You know you can't. So,
what did you guys think of that angel boss fight in the pit, in the fire pit?
I loved it.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it. It was a little annoying, but
it was zany and weird, but it was just like so different from everything in the real world. I was like, I needed this break from the real world.
Exactly.
Just do something
I thought it was a
video
great
gamey, you know.
Pace. Yeah. And it was.
I really liked it.
It was a little annoying where it's like you kept getting knocked off the platforms, and it's like the lava. Ugh. Like maybe if you just had like more space to just sort of run around, but I appreciated what they were going for.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Infamous Second Son.
Second Son.
Oh. All right. This has been the first episode of Fanboy Philosophers, where we have passion with a purpose. Did I say that before? Yeah. I want to do what I thought about. I think what I want to do is have like one game discussion per month, and then but then at the end of the month have like also a news discussion. So like,
all right, yeah,
maybe like 2 episodes a month ish. And the news ones, I think I won't bother editing them as much. I'll just let them be.
Yeah,
editing takes a long time.
No, I hear you. Well, there will be a lot of news, especially after E3. We should have an E3 podcast.
Yeah, I want to do something before E3. So yeah, thanks for listening, human beings of planet Earth. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. I think, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See you.
Alrighty. Bye. Say bye, John.
Hello.